of what they are about to do with the Royal 20. United Nations is a pillar of peace. It's a pillar of human rights and development. Together, we affirm the principle of dignity, equality, and justice, values that have always been at the heart of African civilization. Also, with the African Union Agenda 2063. So most importantly, we align with the African Union Agenda 2063. And herefore said African blueprint and master plan for transformation into the global powerhouse of the future. Royal 20 is not just an event, but a moment that complements Agenda 2063. It is a call for unity, self-reliance, and innovation, while preserving our dignity as African continent. Through Agenda 2063, we see an Africa that is prosperous, an African that is peaceful and people-driven, an Africa that speaks with one voice, an Africa that valued her children, her women, and her indigenous leaders as partners in progress. Ladies and gentlemen, in my conclusion, as we celebrate today with Royal 20, let us remember that our glory is not in our differences, but in our unity and our strength. Our strength lies in fusion of tradition and innovation, in a handshake between elders and youth, in a collaboration between Africa and global community. It is in this celebration, we also recognize my organization, which I am standing with today, the International Association of War Peace Advocates, which we call, in short abbreviation, IAPA. It's an organization with the United Nations with ECOSOC status, whose global mission is for peace and justice, strengthening our commitment to sustainable development and the unity of the entire continent. This partnership reminds us that peace is not optional. It is the foundation of progress. Ladies and gentlemen, without peace, there can be no prosperity. Without unity, there can be no destiny fulfilled. Royal 20 stand in alliance with the United Nations and the African Union 2063 agenda, which envisions an Africa that is integrated, prosperous, and peaceful. An Africa, as I said, that speaks with one voice, an Africa that leads, not from behind, but from the front. Agenda 2063 is not just a plan, it is a prophecy of destiny. And today, as we honor and celebrate with Royal 20, we affirm our commitment to the making of that prophecy to be a reality. Together with Sovereign Congress of Africa, our indigenous leaders, the International Association of War Peace Advocates, the United Nations, the African Union Agenda 2063, we boldly declare Africa shall rise again. Africa shall shine, and Africa will lead. Thank you. God bless Royal 20. God bless Africa, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. His Excellency. I was corrected. Again and once again, what is important here is not just to sit, is to understand the messages that are being said here. And a key message here is peace. Re tlo utlwa Batswana ba rona di-dancera tsa rona tsa Batswana di re fa peace nyana. Batswana le kae na? Batswana ba rena. Bare ke ngwana malome Budinziri. One day I'll get there. Thank you to our dancers. One of very important strategic partners of SCAL, TECSA, TECSA. I would like to welcome President Becky Twala to render his remarks.
Thank you, Program Director. Allow me to stand on an existing protocol. Bayete. Mshad. Colleagues, good afternoon. Mine is very simple. My name is Becky Evans Twala. I'm the founder and the president of the Township Economic Commission SA. We also have what we call the TECSA Foundation. Our mandate is very simple. Is to protect the township economy, to transform the township economy, to develop the township economy, and to grow the township economy. Colleagues, when we talk about township economy, you can't talk about township economy if you don't talk about the village economy, and talk about the rural economy, and talk about the klein dorpies economy, and talk about the informal settlement economy. Our main focus is on the secondary economies. We're one of the founders of the Royal 20 in partnership with SCAL and Mashudu Tinyiko. Now, the Royal 20 is a platform that we've created to make sure that our royals and our kingdoms are not left behind in the most important tables. The unfortunate part is we never requested for any permission to create this platform, because it's a platform that is very important. It's a platform that we make sure that all the indigenous people and the African natives are not left behind in the important tables. And their voices are there. Because at the end of the day, we are talking about the owners of the land. Now we are saying, if visitors are coming to South Africa, but they are not welcomed by royals, I'm not sure what are we saying. Now we are saying royals from now on, they can't wait for permission. Royals from now on, they must make sure that they create economy, which is called the royal economy. At the end of the day, colleagues, as one of the founders of the Royal 20, We are blessed today to have my colleagues from the C20. Colleagues from the C20, they're here. Just wave your hand, colleagues. My president, the Royal 20 has a home in the C20. Now, when we're meeting, or when we are now planning to have a meeting or the summit of the Royal 20 Summit, we'll make sure that the communique or the message from the Royals, it gets to the Leaders Summit on the 22nd and the 23rd. I already met with the Minister of COGTA, Honorable Velenkosi Nihlabisa. I spoke to him about the Royal 20, and I also invited him to join us on the 1st and 2nd. Guess what? He agrees to the invitation. We are blessed today. We've got the deputy ministers that are supporting our program. The deputy minister from Department of Small Business Development and the deputy minister from COGTA. Meaning, in other words, what we are doing here, colleagues, and we've got all the royals, abanigas bomhlaba. Again, whether siyathanda or asithandi, siphethe abanikazi bomhlaba. One of the things that we are saying with my chief Jali is, Nkokeli, when the leaders descend or land in our airports, our royals must be there to welcome them. Colleagues, the G20 summit is a very important summit. It's the first in an African soil. It's the last in the first circle of the G20. Small last born. Next year, America takes over. They're starting a new cycle. That is very critical. Now, our voice, that is why the G20 this year is very important. Now, but what is also very important is that the G20 now is hosted now in Soweto, because now the Leaders Summit now are going into Nasrec. Now, we need to make sure that the townships and the rural economies are not left behind. I want to take this opportunity to invite all of you guys when we celebrating the International Tourism Day in Soweto at Ubuntu Grol, where we'll be officially launching the G20 Corporate Village, so that we're making sure that our history, our indigenous knowledge, our heritage, our music, our dance, our food, people they come and experience. Because at the end of the day, Africa is unique. I was saying to President the other day, let's look at what are the big fives that we need to be proud of ourselves when we talk about G20. Somebody said to me, AI. I said, no, but that's not us, that's India. But there are those 5 key things that we need to proud ourselves. One of them is our royalty and amakhosi. Nokuzigaja wethu as abantu base-Africa. We need to make sure that at the end of the day, the big 5, they come and experience. It's an icon that we only have, that the world wants to see, where Nelson Mandela was once a president. Now, at the end of the day, colleagues, my message is today, I think it's time for us to stop listening to noise. South Africans, we listen too much to noise. We don't understand the power of this country. We're the only country that is a permanent invitee to the G7. Permanent. Only country in the world. We are hosting the G20. What does that mean? We hosted the World Cup. We hosted the World Summit on Sustainable Development. We hosted all these wonderful events. And people, they all want to come to this country. But what do we do as South Africans? We look down at ourselves. I think, colleagues, it's time to be proud of who we are. It's time for us to focus on the positive things that we're doing. Look at this beautiful event today. This is positive. We make sure that at the end of the day, we take our country to the next level. South Africa negotiated for Africa to be part of the G20. Today, we are proud that Africa is hosting the G20. But this G20 is not for South Africa, but it's an African G20. Now, we need then to start taking pride of ourselves as Africans. Colleagues, we are now saying when the G20 summit goes, we are looking at this project. It's a 20-year plan. When deputy ministers, the president, gave his acceptance, or when we assume the G20, we're the only organization that hosted the Township Economy G20 Business Council event on the 1st of December. Then the president came on the 3rd of December. But what the president said, let's look at the G20 20 years back and look at the G20 20 years to come. Meaning this project here, it's a 20-year plan, meaning it's a Vision 2045. We're here for another 20 years to come. Now, colleagues, this is not a child's play. I was speaking to my colleagues from the C20. Guess what? This summit, the Royal 20 Summit, will be hosted next year in America, when the America takes over the G20. Now, we're one of those official sideline events for the G20. So that at the end of the day, our royals are well recognized and acknowledged and respected. Colleagues, I don't want to be too long. And the program yinde. But unfortunately, all what I want to say, colleagues, is that the time is now. We are here now. Let's take our rightful ownership of our own land. And the unfortunate part is we've got only this continent. We don't have any other continent. We also have only this country. We don't have any other country. Now we need to take pride of ourselves. Let's make sure that we don't ask permission. As long as whatever that we do is within the ambit of the law, go there as leaders. We can't wait for people to tell you what to do. Unfortunately, I don't wait for permission. When I see that I need to make sure that I create a concept, I'll create a concept. If I'm wrong, you'll correct me on the way. Now we are saying, President, the Royal 20 is here. We are supporting the Royal 20. Thank you, my dear sister, for supporting. Wherever we go, you are there. Wherever you go, we are there. Thank you very much. We really appreciate you. Colleagues, we appreciate you, all of you. Now, the Royal 20 belongs to all of us. Go out there and make sure that at the end of the day, people know about the Royal 20. Because the Royal 20, it's a platform that it's in a playing level. We want to level the playing field. Making sure that this is not a political platform. It's a platform that is welcoming everyone that believes in the platform. Let's go to the table, let's discuss. But at the end of the day, colleagues, I don't want to see our kings, our queens go and beg, and go and dress for SASSA, grants. What is that? As a king, you are also looking to get money from SASSA. No, it can't be. Yet you've got the land, you've got the people that are looking at you to create employment for them. Let's create employment. TECSA is here. We've got abundant ideas and initiatives. Royal 20 is one of them. And there's plenty of them that we're having. We'll engage and make sure that, royalties and the royal kingdom and the kingdoms will never be the same again. The Royal 20 is your platform. Own it. It's yours. Take ownership and take pride. Thank you, Program Director. Thank you. Colleagues, Can I ask something quickly? Can I just be excused from the table because there's something that I need to go and sort it out because we are preparing for the event on the 27th where we're launching the what you call the G20 Corporate Village, and it's your platform. Can I be excused? Thank you. Thank you very much.
No, you can't be excused. Thank you, President. Without wasting time, I will call upon Deputy Minister Honorable Jane Sithole to deliver an address for us.
Wendombazana ndiyakuthanda, wendombazana.
Sanbonani, good morning, Dimelang Khuyemore. Salam hakom. Bayete. Siyabonga Program Director, Royal Families, Kings and Queens, amakhosi neinduna. Distinguished members of the Royal 20, President of SCAL and the entire leadership, President of TECSA and the entire leadership, Mashudu Teniko Consulting, representatives of different kingdoms, Deputy Minister of COCTA, Princess Olile Benz Ngamashe, Davezita, ambassadors, and the representatives of government, business, civil society, and international community. Today, it is also an honor for us to be here as government because we cannot talk about royalty without talking about our villages and our townships. That's where it is rooted. And for a very long time, entrepreneurs in rural villages were left behind by different reasons. Infrastructure, they can't access connectivity, the infrastructure is not there, there's no roads, there's no water, there is no this, and businesses that are running in our villages and townships tend to suffer because of the services that they can't access. So as the Department of Small Business Development, we have a clear focus now and a plan for township and rural economy. As the President of TECSA has mentioned, we are working on different programs to ensure that we take our township and rural villages with us in this economic inclusion that we are all talking about, because we cannot just talk and not act on the sustainability, the inclusion, the innovation that we are seeing. And also the innovation that we are seeing from our rural areas and townships is actually amazing. You know, it is something that we feel we have left value on the table. We can stand up as government and say we're going to create so many jobs, but those jobs will not be created without those businesses in our villages. That is where the jobs are going to come from. And I'm telling you, we can look at our suburbs, we can look at our labor market. It has shrunk, it can't absorb anymore. Our townships and our villages are our only hope for the future. And we must have a laser focus that will ensure that we are taking them along, not just talking about bringing them along and including them, but we are taking them along literally so that we are able to build the inclusive economy that we're talking about, and also that we are able to make sure that we create jobs. Often we gather and we leave and we come and gather again, but we haven't made progress. I think now what we need to be conscious of is that when we meet, we live with some action plans, that when we meet again, we are evaluating where we are. What did we do? What have we done? What are the obstacles? Because gathering like this is all nice. Believe me, everyone is looking beautiful and it's all nice together. And we live and we gather again in a year's time or two, but we actually have nothing to show for it since our last meeting. I really want Sonke, Undabezita, Abala, the ambassadors, that we make actions speak louder than our words. that is the only way that we are going to be able to move forward. And another thing that I want to encourage is collaboration, which is really the key and the underlying factor of everything that we do. If we continue to work in silos, we are not going to make progress. But if we collaborate, they always say, where there's collaboration, there's progress. Where there's no collaboration, maybe there's competition or something else, often we all suffer. But when we collaborate, we achieve more because we work together. Our job through the township and rural economy works a lot with cooperatives. Cooperatives, it's a way of working together. And in many instances, cooperatives were viewed as really not making economic impact. But now we are seeing the difference because people have realized that they need to cooperate. There is no any other way, whether you're a family cooperative or you are, whichever way that you came with your cooperative, if there's no cooperation, it will never be able to yield profits for the members of the cooperative. And when we are conscious about working together, when we are conscious about the unity that we talk about, when we are conscious about cooperating, we tend to take it with us as a mantra and as our way of working. And I think in that way, we will be able to reach even areas that we haven't reached before. When we talk about entrepreneurs, these are the people that are not only saving the economy, they are not only saving us or saving government, they are actually saving the whole nation. Because if we don't create those jobs, we have seen it. We've seen our youth in the streets. We've seen our women that are trying. We've seen our fathers, our brothers losing their jobs. We've seen it all. So if we don't invest in our township and rural villages, we are taking ourselves back. Not those villages. We're taking ourselves backwards because if we don't invest there and continue to invest here, we're going to find ourselves, the whole nation is going to regress as we have seen in the past years that we struggle to make progress. The African Union views entrepreneurship, particularly among youth and women, as crucial for economic growth, job creation, and achieving the goals of Agenda 2063. When you align your vision with everything that is happening from local to province to national, moving into the NDP and into the African Union agenda, the goals of Agenda 2063, you narrow it down to, because I'm only talking about our role, how we came here. We narrowed it down to the only way to move forward is through small businesses. And then the Ministry for Small Business was created. It was not there because we recognize now that there is no any other way that we're going to grow this economy, that we're going to create jobs, that we're going to be able to build an inclusive economy that is growing without small businesses in our villages. This is something that cannot happen without those small businesses. And those small businesses there in our villages will not happen by themselves if we don't power them. If we don't scale them up, if we don't assist them, if we don't intervene, they will not be able to assist us. They will not be able to create everything that we can sit here and talk about. And that is why the focus is really there. And also, when we go in our villages, where we are, we work with royalty. We work with Ondabezita. We work, where I come from, you cannot come and just come and not go and tell Ondabezita, you are here. As whether it's government or as whoever, you are here. Because when something happens to you there and then it's your problem. So we are making sure that even the programs that we bring, we are bringing them through the royal houses so that they can be able to manage their communities where they are. They know more than you are. You come from outside. You're saying, this is, what can we do here? They know what needs to be done here. Don't go and tell them what needs to be done here. They know the challenges that they've got in their communities. They know the problems there. Solve the problems with them. Don't just shove programs down their throats and say this is a government program, needs to be implemented. That is why they failed, because they were never consulted about the issues in their areas. And they were never part of the solutions. A solution was brought to them and they find it hard to implement it. And we cannot keep on the same cycle and hope that we'll achieve better results. We need to change this, and that is an agenda that needs to change. You know, when you meet these young people, wherever they are actually not looking for charity. They are looking for opportunities. They are not looking for you to give them something. They say, give us tools. They are not looking for money. They say, we can do it. Give us tools. Give us the platform. Give us markets. Give us this. We are willing to work for it. And if we don't intervene and assist that, we are still going to talk about this 5 years, 10 years, and I'm sure at that time it will be worse. And no, none of us want to get to a place where we see what we are seeing and it gets out of control. So from our side, we are really here just to reaffirm that we are on the front line of township and rural economy, and we are going to make sure that our townships and our rural areas are moving with us in this journey of entrepreneurship. We see our children have graduated, they've got degrees, they're standing on the sides of the roads because the labor market has shrunk. And now we are even passing the National Entrepreneurs Strategy, which will make it compulsory for entrepreneurship to be studied from basic education as a syllabus, which will also assist us in empowering the upcoming ones that, you know, it is not something that others are doing it just because they couldn't find a job. It is something that someone develops a passion for, and it's taking them from young age up to wherever they want to take it. In conclusion, entrepreneurship is, of course, we talk about transforming our economic landscape in Africa by providing a path to sustainable development and inclusive growth. And as I close, I just want to emphasize providing a path. That path needs to be provided by us. Whether we are private sector, whether we are government, we need to provide a path for our entrepreneurs to see the light, to grow, to scale up. We need to connect them to markets, as it is our focus now, and we're actually even starting to see the results. And we need to open our countries for markets, and we need to allow them to grow so that they can save our economy and save us. The rise of African entrepreneurs is now, and I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Impogoto. Thank you once again. What is important to note, and to yourself, Honorable Minister, is that we can have all these plans as long as we're not going to have skills transferred to the kingdoms, skills development in the kingdom so that they can be sustained in the kingdoms. And we're talking obviously on the A. Then we believe that you're going to create a system for each and every single kingdom to be able to go back and make sure that we start where we started, by battery. That's where we start. Again. Then we take those to the market. Then we create a way and a system into the market. That's where the corporates are. And we start taking over from them. We're not fighting, because we're going to showcase good quality cows. We're going to showcase good quality cabbages. That's what we're going to do as kingdoms. So without wasting any time, our Zulu brothers, come and dance for us. It's a cultural day, don't forget. What? Oh, yeah. I should have been one of them. I could have been one of them, but I'll be one day. Oza, my Zulu brothers! That's what we came here for. That's what we came here for. They've been showcasing their skills. Very well done. Hey, some of us, I am a tambo. I sing a pugegala. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, back to the program. Without wasting time, we are almost done. We are done. I would like to call upon the Deputy Minister, Honorable Prince Zolile Bans Ngamashe, to deliver a message to us.
Asiyembo, 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 singaba khona thina. Asiyembo, asiyembo, singaba khona thina. Asiyembo. Asiyembo singaba khona thina. Asiyembo. Asiyembo singaba khona thina. Asiyembo. Asiyembo singaba khona thina.
Asweli yachika. Amsulwana tinika kosa. Amsulwana tinika malangana. Kuti kwa kunje kufuku mnyele katoku. Wenu kumkosa kosa kufelu kosa. Kote kwa kopo kifaje Eastern Cape. Namhlanje silapha sithukethe atholela umthonyama namakhosi. Inkosi masizole isixeko sithambile. Makube njalo ke mzukulwana kaXhosa. Zothi mawuwela inceba mtaka phansi incalashe bonakala etholamelala. Kaloku ubukho bakho namhlanje siyabuhlonela. Amathe gawetyala. Kumiliki kubalilo lolithemba. Tehlam.
ukuba ngaba bendikweliya kokwethu bendawuke ndityundyuthe ngolu loqhina kaqhonono kodwa ke ngenxa yokokuba sisizwe esikwilizwe elithe lagutyungelwa ngesitshantshathela nobuntshovu babangeneli. Loo nto yenza okokuba sibe sisizwe esigululeke ubuthumbu ngenkcubeko yaso. Yiyo loo nto kufuneka xa sithetha simdaka sithethe ngolwimi olufuzisela uluchwe lokuba zizigculelo zokugunkcuza empilinini wabo abathi bona ilizwe lakokwethu balithimbela kuloyiso lwabo. Yiyo loo nto ke nam nditshijila ndizawufane ndiluthethe olulwimi ndingathandi ndinjalo. Program Director, Your Majesties, our kings and queens of our different nations in our continent, members of royal families throughout the continent. Let me also acknowledge the President of Sovereign Congress of who has convened us today, working together with President of, initially I nearly thought it's TECSA, but I realized that TECSA belongs to Elon Musk. The president of our township economies, which can never be complete without the full integration of rural and also communities in farming areas in those small towns. Let me acknowledge my colleague, the Deputy Minister, Jobe, of Small Business Development. Without her contribution, the vision we have of developing the township economy is not possible. And that support is equally dependent on the conducive environment that we create as local government. And therefore you can see the symbiotic relationship in terms of the functionality of our different departments to which we have been assigned by His Excellency, President Cyril Ramaphosa. And indeed, ladies and gentlemen, without excluding all the distinguished guests at this important occasion, right at the outset, as African indigenous peoples and communities, we must resist every attempt to be hamstrung by conventional practices deriving their legitimacy from colonial constructs. The biggest enemy of royalty in Africa is royalty itself. By defining ourselves in accordance with the imposed colonial constructs. That is why whenever I address a platform of royal leaders, I always emphasize two syndromes. The first syndrome, that is confronting royalties across the continent, is chronic overdependence. Chronic overdependence renders royalty into becoming beggars. The second syndrome is bureaucratization of royal institutions. Anything that is not defined in terms of the colonial constructs is not royal. You know, Deputy Minister, if you are not a recognized senior traditional leader, a principal traditional leader, a king, headman or headwoman, in terms of PESAL, it doesn't matter how senior and royal you are. The system does not recognize your royal status. And a significant number of those who hold leadership positions in royal institutions, they are very much comfortable with that practice. I want to make a practical example. If, President, you are a recognized senior traditional leader, your younger brother is not recognized by any position in terms of those that are recognized by the system, coming from the same father, same mother, your younger brother is not recognized as royal. It's only you, because you are in PESAL. That is why I'm saying, let us resist the temptation to allow ourselves to be hamstrung into those systems and practices that derive legitimacy from colonial constructs. Because if the agenda of decolonizing Africa does not give recognition to those syndromes, then it means African 2063 agenda is still a pipe dream. Indeed, It is a profound honor to join you this day at the Africa New Year celebration, a moment that calls us to renew our covenant with the land. When we talk about the land, it's important to understand that land is an asset that belongs to all of us transgenerationally. Those of us who live in this generation, we are the custodians of those who were there before us. And we have a duty to bequeath this land to the next generation. What inheritance, what legacy, what footprint are we going to bequeath to that next generation? We must honor our ancestors and to chart a shared vision for the year ahead. Let me start by emphasizing that in as much as I'm excited to provide insights on the new year in terms of the Ethiopian African calendar, it is quite worrying to note that we are celebrating our new year outside what the majority of African people know. Namely that when we speak about a new year, we are referring to the 1st of January in terms of the you may excel in knowledge of they bind you close to them. But what they are and who they are, those are subtle details beyond me and you forever. If I had enough time, I would analyze this stanza and demonstrate why it is relevant as we deal with the biggest challenge of African Renaissance. The new year must be celebrated within our rich cultural heritage that includes our religion, cultures, and traditions, the pillars of who we are. More than any other African country in Africa, our country tends to drifting away from what is considered African outlook. This is demonstrated by a few of the examples below. We take pride in expressing ourselves in a language that is not indigenous, mostly English, and look down at our own languages. You can have a head of state from Germany, from China, from France, from Japan, from Russia, from Brazil. When they address the National Parliament of South Africa, they use their indigenous language. Proudly so. We therefore have a duty to develop an auto-ethnographic lexicography in being intentional and deliberate in the development and promotion of indigenous languages as well as indigenous knowledge systems. We must strive to make sure that there's a language through which African people throughout the continent are able to communicate with one another. We take pride in cherishing Western attire rather than our own. We take pride in promoting Eurocentric cuisine rather than our own cuisine. We take pride in promoting mostly Western Christian religion and look down upon our own religion. We take pride in promoting education systems that impose Eurocentric epistemologies as well as pedagogical and didactical methods of teaching and learning, and look down upon education that is Afrocentric, based on indigenous knowledge systems. As Deputy Minister responsible for traditional affairs, I stand here deeply mindful of the central role played by our monarchs, royals, and traditional leaders, including Khoi and San, leaders and communities in shaping Africa's past, present, and future. Our traditional and Khoisan leaders are more than custodians of heritage. They are champions of community development, peace building, social cohesion, and local governance. In them, we find wisdom passed down through generations, guiding us in how we manage land, how we resolve conflicts, and how we preserve the dignity of our people. We are also, through these systems, face a biggest challenge of poverty, inequality, and unemployment. We risk a serious implosion. If we have more than 40% of young people being unemployed, it means it's a serious risk. There's a lot that must be done. And I believe our different nations, led by our royal leaders, have a significant and immense role in ensuring that we change this trajectory. It is for this reason that government continues to strengthen partnerships with traditional and Khoisan institutions, ensuring that culture and governance move hand in hand for the betterment of our people. The theme of today's celebration is that development must be rooted in culture, and culture must serve development in ways that inspire our continent as reflected in the Agenda 2063. China embeds its development on its cultural practices and heritage. And today, China is a power that even the Western powers understand they reckon with. If Africa can follow suit and make sure that we work in unison, we don't allow ourselves to be defined in terms of what was agreed in Berlin, wherein the countries of Europe decided to balkanize the kind of cadastral boundaries which define who we are. We are one people. We are one nation. We are one continent. And therefore, the unity of the African continent is the power that we need to ensure that we are able to assume our rightful position in the global family of the different nations of the world. We have all the resources, both above the surface as well as beneath the surface, which are adequate enough to make sure that there is not a single household in Africa that is dependent on the aid. In fact, Africa's resources are adequate enough to provide aid to other continents, not ourselves being dependent on the aid. We have different institutions that we have established. For instance, we have Majesty's Forum in South Africa. We have Queen's Council. And we want to make sure that all our different nations are represented in these different fora. so that as we consolidate the unity amongst different nations, there is no nation that is left behind. We have the National House of Traditional and Khoisan Leaders, provincial houses in different provinces, including local houses in different local government areas. Traditional and Khoisan leaders are custodians of culture, heritage, and tradition. The question is, are these custodians of culture and traditions doing their level best in preserving, promoting, and protecting culture and tradition? Are we as Africans doing our best in supporting our traditional and Khoisan leaders in this regard? And of course, we've got to ask ourselves as government, are we doing enough? And I want to assure you that Minister Hlabisa and ourselves as the two deputy ministers, we are doing everything within our power to make sure that royalty in South Africa is respected, royalty in South Africa is given space to play a meaningful role in redefining and reconstructing the future of this country. We know too well that development divorced from cultural identity is shallow and unsustainable. True progress is one that recognizes the richness of our traditions while empowering our people with modern tools to thrive in the global arena. This is why, in alignment with the African Union's Agenda 2063, and in recognition of the Royal 20's mission, we are committed to supporting initiatives that place culture at the heart of governance, education, and economic transformation. This celebration also comes after the successful International Municipalities BRICS Forum held from 20 to 22 September in Sun City, where leaders from across the globe, the global south, gathered to strengthen cooperation. As Africa, we must continue to articulate our voice in global fora, as well as multilateral institutions such as the BRICS, the G20, including United Nations conventions like the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, the Nagoya Protocol, so that the resources that we have, we are in charge of them. Our traditional and Khoisan leaders must be part of this global dialogue, ensuring that Africa is not spoken for, but speaks for itself with one voice and with a vision rooted in our heritage. As we step into the new African year, let us remember that our strength lies in unity. Unity between generations, unity between nations, unity between governance structures and traditional institutions. Let us use this moment to reaffirm our commitment to strengthening the role of traditional and Khoisan leadership in governance and development. The national dialogue creates that opportunity. We must provide leadership, including the weaknesses we have identified within the Traditional and Khoisan Leadership Act. That's why now we have the amendment. We expect this platform and fora to make a contribution so as to ensure that the weaknesses we have identified, we are able to address them. Nobody will rectify challenges and weaknesses within a legislation that governs traditional and Khoisan leadership without royals themselves. Empowering our communities through education skills and economic opportunities, safeguarding our culture and heritage as the foundation of our identity, building an Africa that is self-reliant, prosperous, and united. As I conclude, on behalf of the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, I wish to express our appreciation to the Sovereign Congress of African Leaders and the Royal 20 for convening this important celebration. May this Africa New Year bring renewal, wisdom, and progress for our beloved continent. Let us rise together, guided by our ancestors, driven by our vision, and united in our purpose. Thank you very much.
Allah. Thank you, Honorable Prince Zolile Bans Ngamashe. Sibonga amazwi, sibonga encouragement. I'm calling upon, without wasting time, Gamisa.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Will be very brief. We have kept the two deputy ministers for a very long time, and their flights are going to leave them. But that's good for us because they can sleep with us. But anyway, we can fellowship at SCAL for the entire night. I'm joking. Good afternoon, royalties, His Majesties, and kings, princes, chiefs, as well as princesses that I see. I also see Princess Nikki Webam. I haven't seen her in a very long time. Also, good afternoon to the various Deputy Minister of DSPD and COCTA. We want to just take a quick picture. We invite the SCAL President to just step down. Sorry, President. The Deputy Ministers to step down. The Deputy President of TECSA, he was standing somewhere there. I can't see him now. Yes, there you are, Mr. Bongani Nkosi, the Deputy President of SCAL. Please, we invite you to come afore. MTC COO, Mr. Max Sutole, we invite you. Ambassador, we invite you. And the kings that we have in our presence, please. Just the kings, so that we have a good picture that reflects today before we release. The First Lady, oh mangizoshaya angengidle. I will not eat. Try. Please, let's have a quick one before we a representative from the yes. Thank you very much. Yes. Yes. Please, let's just okay, can we have okay, yes. Mr. Mark, please go on top. DM on top, please. Okay. Siyacela ayikabi mawuzazi ukuthi uphethe i-mobile sabu Samsung sabu iPhone umuve ecaleni sinama camera la. Please. Sicela ama phone anike ama camera chance. Move nawe sicela nawe. Nayi camera behind you. Thank you. Onke ama mobile ecaleni. C20 please. Please, there's a bad mistake. C20, please come forward. We need C20 to join that floor, Papezul. Okay, we're just fixing something. Let's all say Royal 20. Let's all say SCAL. TECSA. Royal 20. You make a good choir. Let's please go back to our seats. Okay. Obi. Kucalwa nje one last one man for C20, TECSA, Royal 20, SCAL. One last one. Sicela sibhekeleni kalo so that we give the camera a chance. One, two. Okay, siyacela please. Just C20, Royal 20, Deputy Ministers, SCAL, TECSA, MTC only. Siyacela please. Siyacela please. Okay. Naku, we're fine. Can we have MTC please go that side? There's a lot of space that side, colleagues. There's congestion here. Please also go that side, ma'am. I don't know. Sorry, mama. Can we? Ngiyashaya, colleagues, ngiyashaya. Ngisekuthathweni nesitulo sami ngoku. Okay. President. In 3, 2, 1, Royal 20. C20. SCAL. TECSA. And Royal 20. Thank you very much. Awukhoktha. Let's please settle down. Let's please settle down. DJ.
understand why, ne? You understand why, ne? Ne? Yeah, you understand, ne? Camera. Thank you, ladies and gents. Thank you, ladies and gents. Ke a leboga. Ladies and gents, can you all settle down? Can you all please settle down? Thank you for the beautiful photos that everyone has taken. Ke a leboga. Can you all settle down to finalize and finish the program? Brass bende, brass bende. Brass bending Guinness batho mo hearts as a believe ka your good melody. Ladies and gents, can you settle down, please? We'll take photos once the president has spoken. Can I have my president, please? President, can I have you, please? I need you settled. If you are not settled, I can't continue with the program. Ladies and gents, let's add the photo. Kya kopa di I-20 le C-20 kya di tima bya nong awa kya lebo. Can I have everyone settled? Bahaichu kya le kopa na kumbela sa believe. No kumbela nzela kwa la sa believe. You know, that's exactly. Ladies and gents, one last item of the program. Brass band. Ladies and gents, thank you very much. I think what is important is what we came here for as well. The organizer, the man with a vision, a man with stature, a man that has traveled across the globe, an entrepreneur, a priest, you name it, he's everything. He's a leader in his own right. He's got his own foundation. In Balantonina, he's everywhere. He's taking all the kingdoms within our space globally. I would like us to, all of us, to stand up for our professor, Peace Ambassador, Mr. A father. Ladies and gents, without wasting any time, I would like to have our professor, Professor Mr. Mpiani, to rise up and address all of us and really give us his vision and mission of why all of us are here. Can you all rise up and clap our hands for Mr. Mpiani? Thank you. Let's all rise up.
Dumelang. Dumelang. Lekai. Sanibonani. Amashe. Kamaku. Lokobela. You may be seated. Thank you. You may be seated. Thank you very much, Program Director. Your Majesties, the Royal Highnesses, the affiliating kingdoms and chiefdoms to the Sovereign Congress, African leaders, Deputy Minister of the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, COCTA, His Excellency Honorable Prince Zolile Benz Ngamashe, Ndabezit, the Deputy Minister of the Department of Small Business Development, Honorable Jane Sitole, Sir Stuart Nklati, who is the South African ambassador to BRICS, His Excellency, the TECSA President, Mr. Becky Twala, the Mashudu Tinyiko Consulting Chief Executive Officer, Ms. Nontanta Nkadimeng, Tech G20 CEO, Ms. Kamisa Tengile, distinguished leaders, esteemed partners, brothers and sisters, His Royal Majesty King Mtimkulu III of the Amatlubi Royal Kingdom, the Deputy President of the Sovereign Congress of African Leaders, the founder of the Rivers of Living Waters, His Excellency Bafana Zondo. Ladies and gentlemen, I greet you all. Today, as we gather beneath the banner of the Royal 20, we do so in recognition of something the world has too often overlooked, that the destiny of Africa rests not in borrowed systems, but in the wisdom of her thrones. Ladies and gentlemen, the Royal 20 was not born by accident, but it is the fruit of strategic foresight, of a deliberate joint venture between the Sovereign Congress of African Leaders and the Township Economic Commission of South Africa, TECSA Foundation, who together envisioned an group that will give African traditional leadership a structured voice within the Global 20 architecture. This is a strategy to influence and restoration of rightful authority. In this vision, we are grateful for the strategic foresight and support of Mashudu Tinyuko Consulting, ensuring that our aspirations are meshed with resources and action. The TEC G20 as our implementing partner. The Royal 20 is not simply an idea, but it is a living institution of African sovereignty, sustainable development, and global diplomacy. One may ask a question, but what is the significance of the African New Year? Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, we mark the African New Year, an occasion rooted in history, culture, and spirituality. Long before colonial calendars and imported systems, our ancestors aligned their seasons, they aligned their celebrations and governance to the rhythms of the land and the sky. The African New Year is a time of rebirth and renewal, a time to honor the past, to give thanks to the present, and to set vision for the future. It is also a reminder that Africa is not defined by January the 1st, but by her own cycles of time, knowledge, and identity. In today's context, the African New Year calls us to reclaim our narrative, to stand tall in our heritage, and to reimagine development not as something imposed on Africa, but as something driven by Africa's own values of Ubuntu, custodianship, and solidarity. A Royal 20 is a platform of transformation. It's not a ceremonial platform. It is a movement of thrones, vision, and solutions. It ensures that African monarchs who remain the custodians of the land, the minerals, agriculture, and the people are not excluded from the decisions that shape their futures. Through the Royal 20, our thrones are not only protectors of heritage, but they become architects of trade agreements, voices in climate negotiations, drivers of educational transformation, and custodians of sustainable investment. This, ladies and gentlemen, is heritage meeting policy and tradition shaping progress. We salute and appreciate the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs for its unwavering role in strengthening the voice and legitimacy of traditional leadership within the governance framework of South Africa. The Royal 20 recognizes COGTA as a critical partner in aligning state structures with indigenous governance systems, ensuring that traditional leaders are not ceremonial observers, but active participants in nation building. We therefore, as the Sovereign Congress of African Leaders and the Royal 20, call upon COGTA to work with the Royal 20 in advancing programs of rural development, resource beneficiation, cultural diplomacy, and social cohesion. Together with government, we believe that we can weave a governance model that is inclusive, resilient, and rooted in both ancestral wisdom and modern policy, positioning Africa's thrones at the center of sustainable development. Looking ahead at the roadmap of Royal 20, as we celebrate today, we also look forward to two major milestones on the Royal 20 calendar. The first one, ladies and gentlemen, is a Royal 20 Golf Day that will take place on the 28th of October in the year 2025 in the beautiful province of KwaZulu-Natal. A day to bring together monarchs, the investors, the policymakers, and global partners in a spirit of unity and dialogue. This is not just a golf game, but it's a platform for building relationships, unlocking partnerships, and positioning our leaders in space of influence. The second one will be the Royal 20 Summit that will start from the 1st to the 2nd of November. And I'm sure that you are jotting down those dates because they are very much important in the calendar of Royal 20. The summit is the inaugural Royal 20 Summit, which will bring together African government, G20 representatives, and global investors. This will be a flagship gathering of royal diplomacy where the towns of Africa will present a collective agenda on sustainability, equality, and solidarity. We extend our deepest appreciation to the BRICS delegation for standing with Africa at this defining moment in history. BRICS has long championed a multipolar world where the global south is not peripheral, but central to global progress. In the spirit of partnership, we call upon BRICS nations to work with the Royal 20 in advancing sustainable trade, beneficiation of resources, infrastructure development, and technological exchange. Together, we believe that we can create an economic architecture that reflects solidarity, equality, and sustainability, ensuring that African thrones and communities benefit directly from investments that are ethical, transformative, and future-focused. The Royal 20 extends its hand of royal diplomacy to BRICS, not as petitioners, but as partners in building a just and prosperous world order. Your Majesties, esteemed leaders, brothers and sisters, as we stand at the dawn of the African New Year, we are not simply turning a calendar page, but we are turning history itself. The Royal 20 is not a footnote in the global story. It is the chapter where Africa writes itself back into the narrative of power and progress. Today, we firmly declare as the Royal 20, let no throne be silent. Let no kingdom stand apart. Let no partner doubt that Africa has risen. On the 28th of October, in the year 2025, at the Royal 20 Golf Day, we will forge partnerships in spaces of influence. On the 1st to the 2nd of November, at the Royal 20 Summit, the crowns of Africa will stand united before the world with one voice, one agenda, and one destiny. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to take this moment to thank all of you for coming here and being part of this very powerful and prestigious event. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank all the royal kingdoms for coming here and blessing us with your presence. I want to thank also members of executive committee, those that are from government, those that are from parliament, members of the community, especially those who are in the jurisdiction of the headquarters of SCAL, which is the Ward 30 Madibe municipality. So I want to thank you all, and may the good Lord bless you mightily. I thank you. Before I sit down, I want to invite Prince Amon Mwahi to come to the front. I also want to invite the Archbishop Zondo to come to the front. The ministers of the Sovereign Congress of African Leaders to come to the front. His Excellency, SADC Director of the International Association of World Peace Advocates, United Nations Economic Social Council, Director, His Excellency Anthony Chinadum, to come to the front. I want to take this moment to hand over now to the Prince, who is also the SCAL African Royal Kingdom's advisor. He's the one advising in my office for the rest of Africa. So I want to give him the mic, because today we are going to welcome our new members in the Sovereign Congress of African Leaders. May we give him a round of applause. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Program Director, I recognize you. The President of SCAL, Professor Mpiani, the President of the Women's League of SCAL, Mampiani, I acknowledge you and recognize you. Bishop Zondo, I also recognize you and acknowledge you today. Director, I recognize you. All the head of states who owns the land, the sovereignty, the power, the royalty, I recognize you all. Today, it's a very beautiful day that we are gathered here to make sure that we give the powers to the kingdoms. That is why we are launching Royal 20 independently, free from politics, political leaders, free from government, in partnership with them. We are saying we are going to rise this year. We are going to control as kingdoms our land, our minerals, and our royalty. That is Royal 20. I want to invite in the stage, I know the president has given me a task. SCAL has today officially receiving the acknowledgement and the agreement of the kingdom of Mujaji, the kingdom of Balobedi, under the queenship Masalanabo, to come and be a member of SCAL from effect of today officially. The kingdom we are also here gathered today as kings to recognize that our Queen Masalanabo Mujaji has grown up. He's the daughter of the nation. And now we have the royal family and the royal council. We have the Queen Mother that was left with our Queen Masalanabo Mujaji today, honored to come and receive certificates of recognition.
Wah! Wah! Pula!
Can the royal council, recognized by the kingdom of Balobedi, Bahamujaji, Bamukoto, come forward, please. All of you. Today, I just want to tell you a story that I've heard from the original royal family. I am blessed today to can tell you that I was blessed to be told the history of the Mujajis. I've many years questioned, why do you have a reign queen? And today I'm blessed to have a general secretary. I'm blessed to have two grandfathers. They may come forward. Awutatamkulu, babamkulu, come and sit here. Come and stand here for me. These are the legacies that made the president of South Africa and the minister of COGTA with their signatures together with a representation of the Secretary General, Gabriel Rasmuta, that today we have an undisputed, the Queen of Balobedu, Royal Kingdom of the Mujajis, and the Kingdom of Mokoto, the original king of the Mujajis, from the origination of their kingdom. I'm blessed to announce today that our reign queen was supposed to be here. However, we have decided that SCAL must be the one who gives the certificates to the royal, and the royal will give the certificate to our queen mother, and the queen mother will give it to the queen daughter, who is now our official recognized queen of Balobedu Bahamujaji. And I officially invite all of you from all sorts of kingdoms, from everywhere, Botswana, Lesotho, and all the provinces, that on the 4th of October, I, as the administrator of the Kingdom of Balobedu, has agreed that we are going with the Queen to make sure that SCAL endorses this program and endorses her in the nation. We are going to hand over our Queen to the royal family and the nation of Balobedu officially on the 4th of October.
Pula.
I just want to lastly mention that our young queen was hidden in South Africa under the familyship of fostering the child for many years. And we want to thank the family of the Motshega that have raised the young queen, and that they've accepted that the queen now is matured and the queen now is ready to take over the crown. On behalf of the Motshega, I want the royal family also to accept the responsibility that they've played and recognize that. And I want to say thank you to them for giving us an opportunity to agree that the young queen be given back to the mother that the original late mother left when she was still a baby. And I want also to announce that I was privileged, President, to have the Mokoto elderly who told me that the name Masalanabo originated from where. And we are happy that God has blessed you to still alive, and your brothers who are standing next to you, may God bless you forever. Now I'm going to hand over the certificates first. Let's start with the president. The president mother, please, can you come forward? Your daughter, the young queen, the one that you are going to lead in the Women's League nationally, they are here. So I would like to announce that the the President hand over the Royal Council certificate to the General Secretary. Let's start by handing over the Secretary General of Balobedu Royal Council. The Balobedu Royal Council is a combination of the royal family, legitimate royal family, and legitimate representative of Balobedu Kingdom. Both of them are here, are honored. The Royal Council of Balobedu are the ones who are writing multiple letters to the President of South Africa, the Deputy President of South Africa, the Minister of COGTA and Deputy Minister of COGTA, and also to all the premiers to endorse the recognition of the Reign Queen Masalanabo Mojaji. Today, we give you a certificate of queenship. This certificate is a recognized certificate that SCAL and the members of SCAL and the kings and royal families of SCAL, we are saying we know and we acknowledge, and we are today handing over the certificate of recognition in agreement with the certificate that COGTA has issued. We are now saying there's no one who will stand on the path of a queen to get now government support and government to coronate her. We are now saying SCAL is in the front and is marching towards the progress of government to make sure that the function be done. We want government to know that Royal 20 means 20 royal kingdoms, recognized 20 and unrecognized 20. It is not only that certificate needs to be in the front for you to become a king. The king is born. Thank you. Now, lastly, it's a certificate of royal funerals, a certificate of recognition. I will call members of the administration office to come and receive it also on behalf of Royal. Royal Funerals is a royal funeral that was formed many years ago. I'm talking about the first in South Africa, which was formed around 1942 by what we call the royal families of South Africa. So today, after the sponsorship that we received from them, we decided that we want to see our kings and traditional leaders be buried with dignity. And we are going to sit down with them and make a package that when you are a king and the family says as a royal family, we want to be buried, royal funerals must bury you. And they must give you a high level recognition of your funeral. We are sick and tired that other funerals are not the same as others. We are going to sit down with government and tell them and COGTA that we recognize that we have a package of all kings. Whether registered with government or not, royal funerals will bury them. Thank you. Now, I'm going to Royal, I think they are on the other side. We are now going to give our Secretary General a moment to add. He's my boss. This is the man that called me when the kingdom was fighting each other. When they were saying Masalanabo will never become the queen, the reign queen, he invited me and I got the permission from the president of SCAL to go and stand with them, and we fought together. So when the council, the royal family of Balobedu Council was formed, I was there to say, I'm giving you the guidelines on how to form it and your powers. I'm going to hand the Secretary General, the man that is the author of all the letters that made the president to agree and say, yes, Masalanabo will be given the queenship. Thank you.
Tobela. 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 Arlubeni, 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 Arlubeni. Puna!
Amen.
Pula! Pula! Kamidubi!
Yay.
Robela gosha ya mochakata rena re le balobedu re batho ba o ba le lerato ke leboa ka moka magoši a rena ba ba leng gona mo ke leboa le baruti ka gore bogosi bjo bo senago baruti ka gare a bejo modimo ena a bophele bogosi bjo bongwe le bjo bongwe bina ka gore be le baruti ka gare ga bjona o bontšha gore bodia ene be a phela ke leboa ka mata ke leboa mogalebe wa moagi Prince Amon moagi o re modimo a o ekeletše a o fe mata monna Yesu gobane rena re le balobedu re ile ra dula fase ra bona re tsenetšwe ke makeke ka gae ra bona re tsenetše ke makeke ka gae ra bona o le bokagone gore re bitše ba ba ka kgona o ta re teredule fase le bona re kgone go bontšhana gobane rena re nyaka bogosi bja bolobedu bo thube bo khwathe bo ye pele bo lediwa ke Her Majesty Reign Queen Masalanabo mojadji wa bošupa thobelang bjale se se leng gona rena re ile ra tšea sephetho re le Royal Council balobedu Royal Council ye consistito ke balobedu Royal Family or re appointa a Royal Administrator ya rena ya balobedu Queenship ene re a leboa gobane re kgonne o appointa Prince Amon Moagi as the Royal Administrator of balobedu Queenship diane mopolori ba khekulo re leboa ka mata re sa tlo tšwela pele le go šoma le Mr. Moagi o bontšha re bogoši bja bolobedu a bo utswiwe a bo tšewe bja mo go benyu ba bona e leng ba mokoto le ba mojadji mopolori re leboa ka mata re sa tlo le bina la gosha ke tlo pela re ka moka borena re emelele re bina mochakata a bulela ka bua DJ re bina mochakata president re bina mochakata
le marumo motho wa go go bina petrol
Arieme, arbina mochakata Arieme, mochakata wa chakata Pula Pula Pula
Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Wow.
ke ya leboa ke na le mokhalabe mowe mokhwakhwe Rodney Mojaji ke chairperson ya Balobedi Queenship ke chairperson ya Royal Family ke tlo ba fama hore ba no apanyana mokhalabe mantswe a o leboa moshumo o re o bonao ka moka ona ke bona ba bile o ba file o ba msata leina la masala nabo thobela
Ntate mohaya hole a feta mo a leng ho tobe awa ke a leboa ke leboa batho ka moka ba batlile mo moshomone wo ke le leboa ka moka ka re ke a bona hore ke mehlobohlobo poleke ngaba ngiyabona nomzulu khona nomswati ukhona angazi namakhe umxhosa ukhona ngiyajabula kakhulu ngiyalibulisa nonke ngoba bengeke sazi ukuthi bakhona abantu abafana nani nama-leader amakhulu e-Afrika ngoba ngabe akusiyo lo baba lo Mr. Moahe ngabe asikho la namhlanje ngithi mina kini nonke abakhulumayo niyangizwa ukuthi ngithini ngithi ngiyanibingelela nekukhule kakhulu ukudlula la nikhona namhlanje Batswana baethu ke a le leboa ke a le godisa Batswana baethu ke re le gola go feta mo le leng teng ka gobane ka tseno le kgonne go gopola the youngest queen in Africa Queen Masala Nabo le tle le mo fe lebitso a re ya setšhaba a re ya baemedi ba Afrika o tloa today re ya tseba re le baeso le lona le ba Mojatši le lona le Balobedi le rena re Mazulu re phela le lona ka re le Sezulu ja utlwa ke a se bolela ngikhuluma nani ngoba ngahlala nabo Mazulu be bangifundisa nenduku bathole ukuthi bathi hayi lo mfana lona uhlakaniphile uyayazi lento uyayenzako ngajabula nami ngathi kithi sishanga esibhakele bathi uyadlala wena ungayishaya inyoka ngesibhakele izakulunga ungadlaleli kule nto leyo uthi wena unesibhakele ngiyabonga kakhulu kuyaleboa ntate Mohayi ugole ibile ke bona lo mokhutswane mara o thoma ka usana lo thoma tla bona lo motelle ya ke tloetsa plan ya re bolelele modimo re mo rapele hore ntate o a bolela re khone o mmona re nyaka go bona le motelle re mo felele bitso re ke walk tall ke a leboa a re leboele Masala Nabo a ke sa ya pele a ke sa ya kgolo bane na go re seile o le mona o ke na mmago Masala Nabo rile ge the Queen Makubo Mojatši a kry-a ngwana a bitša mosadi yo ke rakgadi a re wena ke wena ngwana o kwao ge e le re tsubapatša le ngwana o tla tsubapatša mara ge e le re ja bobe le ngwana o tla ja bobe obane o tlo mo ruta ntho wena o phelang ka yona o bontšha gore ko o ratile gore na le bophelo jo bo botse le ngwana o tla mo godisa hantle jale o bjalo wa etsagala diphoso tse di etsaetseng ga re di sa le morago rena solanka re tsebo rena modi o thomile kae ge Masalana ba na le matsatsi a mararo 3 days kgosi ya mpitša ba mosata ba re hei mokgalabe e tla mo leporuruao Epafras Mojatši re a re le thuo motho ko ka mo ntlong ka mo ke mosadi motho mara bele mosadi yo a na leina re tlo mmitša ka eng batho ka moka e le tsena mo lena le mabitso a bolona yola a na lebitso bele ke nyaka gore le mpe lebitso la motho o lena le tswetswe ka mogare motse wa mošate ge le kapalelwa ke lebitso kore a le ya pepi a le ya tswalwa ka ke tla le ntšhala tsamaya hei ra dula fase ra lebelela ra ke re no di a re imela ka re brur a re lebelele gore motho o tswa ka ntlha efe ra lebelela ka re ke ona lebitso le ona man le mongwe gore Masalana bo wa pele o ile a tsamaya mo lefaseng a sena ngwana bjale o atlile re mo fala Masalana we replaced everything se selo sa diphoso so re lokisa that mistake ya yo la o tlhoka bana o re mo fa lebitso la Mmasalanabe la nkgonwa o re a tle re produce tsebele re nyaka bana mo o a re fe bana ba tla salang ba go ka le bogosi rua ka re mona o ka re o tlile botse mane ka re ya nna ke tlile ka yona tsela e bjang a re tšee yona tsela e ra itšea re ba fa ba mosata hei ngwana lebitso ke le ke Mmasalanaba a re a tloa re sa jeka-jeka re o tlile ba re lelelelelelelelele ra re ya ba re ke lona lebitso le ke le nyakang lebitso lela o le retšwe ke nna ka kwa motseng wa mošae mara a tlhokometswe ke mosadi o le motšeele odimo ke mmao Mmasalana because Mmasala o ile a tlhokofalelwa ke motswadi e sa le o monnyane ke a leboa maZulu ke a leboa maSwati ke a leboa maXhosa ke leboa batswana ba ešo
Pula. Amen. Ra leboga thata. The royal family. We are thankful. We are right at the end. Right at the end. And we are very grateful and thankful to our president, all the nice words and the kind words. And you know what? We can all see that the SCAL is working. Another member in the board, Balobedu. We are calling upon C20, Head of Secretariat, Ntlan Dlovu. Please join us. Give us some closing remarks. And also I would like to call our DP to be closer while C20 is going to give us a closing remark. He will just somehow close it for us and thank everyone in that regard. Thank you.
Let me rise through all protocol. Let me observe all the protocols. And I wanted to say something about C20, but he has spoken, and so the protocols don't allow. So we're gonna thank everyone who has contributed to the program today. And in fact, unfortunately, I'm given these tasks, and actually I'm not having the speakers with me. So actually give me the speakers, give me the program. So, I'm Ntlan Dlovu, I'm the secretary of C20. And C20, the royals are organized under C20. And so it's actually because they are not recognized as independent. So this year, we are actually hosting the Royal 20 as C20. So the C20 is Civil Society 20. And the Royal 20, they are actually under us. But then they will actually, we actually intend to have a resolution in South Africa in G20 in November. The resolution will actually establish in America the Royal 20. So I think I actually have to say hi as a Royal 20. I've heard a lot of speakers here speaking. They emphasize the government, like G20. So far, the Royal 20 doesn't have a place in G20. And we're actually accommodating the C20, no, the Royal 20 under C20. So I just think that I needed to emphasize that. Now, I actually have to thank everybody in the program. I actually have to thank the MC, Chief Matthews Libalo. He handled the program very well. I actually have to thank King Malachi, Ntai Malachi, and I have to thank the chairperson of Northwest, TECSA, Mr. Chris Ntuli. I actually have to thank the MTC COO, Nonhlanhla Kadimeng. I have to thank Stuart Ntati, the ambassador for BRICS. I have to thank King Bulelani Kalobengula. I actually have to thank what representative? I actually have to thank the representative of King Bulelani Kalobengula. Now, I have to thank Ms. Kamisa Tengile, the moderator. Then I have to thank the panelists, Mr. Altus Fori, Mr. Mbuso Ndlovu, Ms. Yanga Klaba, Ms. Max Chole, and Prince Amon Moahi. I then have to thank the president of TECSA, Begitwala. I have to thank the DSBD Deputy Minister, Honorable Jane Sitole. I have to thank Kokta Deputy Minister, Honorable Prince Zolile Bans Ngamashe. And then I have to thank the president for the keynote address. I think there's going to be an announcement. We're going to have a lunch, late lunch. And we will then, I don't know if the program director, you're here. So I'm going to hand over to the program director. And we thank you very much for availing yourself and sitting through and having lunch late. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Again, stomachs, tlala, hunger. But the one thing is that we are full of knowledge now. We are full of happiness inside of ourselves. Without wasting time, our DP, the stage is yours.
Thank you, MC. Thank you. As the Deputy President of TECSA, my words, being Bongani Nkosi, my words are not going to be long because as the MC has shared, today we are felt spiritually, psychologically. The messages that have been shared by the honorables, all protocol observed, they are highly motivating and mind-changing. All I'm requesting is it's the work that we need to continue doing, and we should not stop. We need to make sure that our royal kingdoms are fully recognized and are appreciated throughout the world. On this day, thank you very much. I would also like to encourage and also thank all the teams that has made this day to be possible. The people that conceptualized the day, the people that made sure that today everybody is here in terms of making sure that they make calls, they send invites. The people that made sure till to this day, people are here, the tents are here, the food is here, whatever that we're going to be having after this, I would like to thank the ordinary person that has made sure that this event becomes a possibility. Where we're sitting right now, there has been grading. The guys that worked and made sure that they clean the yard. I would like to thank everyone that has put up a hand into making sure this event today becomes a success, and making sure that we are all having the honorables and excellencies and kingdom and royal kingdoms today. I would like to thank you all on behalf of TECSA, and behalf of SCAL, and on behalf of the Royal 20. May the Royal 20 be the one that would be recognized going forward in the future, in the next 20 years, that the Royal 20 will be moving on a year-to-year basis. Thank you very much, President, and thank you very much, Excellencies. Thank you. Itinerary, I would like to request that Kamisa Tengile could come and give us an advice on how are we going to be being served today. I hope, is she here? Kamisa? Oh, she's on her way. I know that the royal kingdoms and kings, they are going to be served inside the yard, and we can also remain.